Franklin P. Jones once said, "Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile." Alvin and Andrea met at church at 10 years old. They've been married 20 plus years. What are their secrets that everyone else doesn't know about a lifetime of love? Welcome to Show Love. Sitting down at the kitchen table and having authentic, non-scripted conversations. We're going to inspire, educate, and motivate couples. This is Show Love with Alvin and Andrea.
Hey, what's going on today? Show Love episode
number 11.
11. Wow. I just got some things on my mind I just want to get off my mind. Nothing to get off my chest, because if I did, it would be best. But hey, how about this? You remember we were growing up?
Growing up.
When we was growing up young and right after we got married and it just was us and we had the kids and we had to just go out and make things happen. You remember when you was in school and I was at work and I went to work in the daytime and then in the evening time you had to go to school. So
yeah, we were ships in the night, and it was one of those things where we had to make some decisions because matter of fact, because at one time I was going to a university where most of the classes were during the day, and that required us to put have care for the children. Three.
Right. Yeah.
And three, that was a big number,
Yeah.
So there was limited family support. A lot of it, I know that, in my case, I know my mother would help, but she was still working. We had children younger, so she wasn't an option all the time, but she could help in the evening. So you and I had to make that decision together. How are we going to make arrangements for the kids? And at that time, it just, daycare for three just wasn't an option. So we had to decide, well, you had to go to work in the day, so that left, if I was going to take classes, switch to a university to allow me to take classes at night. So you literally would get off from work, come home, and I'll be in the car ready to bag out.
I get there and you done already got the food ready for the kids, and I just had to feed them and get them off in bed, help them with a little of their schoolwork, and get them off the bed, and then you came in. Sometimes it was late. I remember those late
10
nights.
or 11 o'clock at night.
10:30, almost
and then
11 o'clock.
which left little time to do homework, because I had to do homework early in the morning because, I was at home with the young ones. So there was no homework. Once they got up, I was mom. And like you said, when I think back on it, I forgot about that. I actually did cook before going to class to make it easier. So we had to work together. And those times were when I look back on it, it was very admirable on both our parts to be able to work together like that at such a young age, and still be able to maintain a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think back then, though, remember one of our other episodes, we talked about how Sunday was our day. We weren't having it.
Sunday,
it was like, don't call, ask. That was the one day we had.
Even though we like going to cookouts and stuff, Sunday wasn't the day to have a cookout with us back when we were.
Because that was the only time we could actually be together.
That's the only time we could be in the same place at the same time.
Do you think that the people around us realized that we didn't get a chance to really see each other, or that they cared about that? The fact that we were a young couple.
Of people, they looked past it, and they just tried to, in a sense, it's like separation. Try to separate you, and try to, force you to do something, against what your marital status
responsibility
and stuff.
So
it got kind of challenging at times, but hey, as we look back on it now, we did it,
and that's why I really like the fact that we're doing this podcast, to just be authentic and share it. It's not easy, and sometimes you have to sacrifice people outside your house just to do what you got to do, even though the world may say otherwise. I remember saying a lot. I don't know if you started, I started, if it was advice, that it's you and me against the world. That's how it felt at times. Like, we had to make sure we took care of each other first, and then we had children. So, there was some times where we had to make some serious, there weren't even hard decisions. You just choose your family,
Right.
And for us, family was me, you, the girls. And if we could do anything else, we did, but we made them priorities.
Made them priorities. Right.
And when I look on it now, that was actually an example for our children, because it's going to be hard for somebody to come and cohabitate with them and have a relationship with them if they're not going to put family first, because that's what they watched us do. And I think we did a good job too, because
sometimes those were hard decisions, that
missing a barbecue.
You or I would have to make, and we would always say, why do you want to do it on Sunday?
The one day we said we can't do
it.
We
trying to, that's
but
the only
no,
time
well,
we really
but
could.
you know what though? It wasn't just Sunday. It was a lot of times
sometimes,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It was mostly on the weekend.
The weekends, yeah.
Sunday,
And
those 2 days.
And then for me,
see,
I was doing homework.
So
And sometimes I feel like that wasn't respected. Like, you can do homework. Everybody do homework. You can do it another time. When? I'm parenting. I'm parenting, and I'm not just, sitting in front of my children with a book. I'm being a mother, so I was tired, and I wasn't going to sit and neglect my work when I know that my schoolwork, what it takes for me to get my work done. People, would look and say, oh, well, she's smart. And they don't know what I have to go through to complete an assignment. And
I tell you, just by being there, and then, I went to school and took up my trade, but just being there with you after you've been going to school and stuff, man, that schoolwork, it ain't easy. And you got kids that's, talking to you, you try to do your work, and, I tried not to bother you because I knew the stress that you was under.
Yeah, and they're just doing the work. And then graduating each time with honors. Like, I was very proud of that. I took work seriously. And then it was modeling also for our children, being an example for them that, you do your lesson, you get your work, it equals income. Whether that knowledge is getting a career or opening a business or whatever, they watched us do all of that stuff. And I just think back at a young age. I see a lot of young couples now, and I just wonder, if they have what it takes to make it sometime, because family loves so hard that they don't know that they rip young couples apart.
Know when to say no. Yeah. And it's okay to say no. I mean,
but I know
it took a while to really
but
get
a lot
that.
of times when you said no, there was that aftermath of feeling, because it wasn't the way it was received. No, I don't love you. I ain't got time for you. You come second. It was just no, and I can't. And then it didn't come with, well, how can I help you so that you can make it? It was just a judgment that, you not being with your family, or you're not, and when I say you, I don't just mean you, but just us not being with the family.
Let me watch the kids for y'all. Y'all be working so much. Let y'all go out. I don't think we ever had that said. I'm going to be honest.
I think the assumption was that we didn't need the help. And that's one thing I said that I would be conscientious of with our daughters when they, become parents. One is already a parent, to not look at what I think she needs and just be a grandparent. I don't wait for her to tell me she need me. I'm a grandparent. I know what it's like, so I interject when I can. Like now I'm in school again. School is challenging. Working on a doctorate degree takes a lot of time. So I had to let the kids know, hey, look. I let mom know, hey, look, I'm back in class next week. I'm going to be a little less approachable for the next 8 weeks, because each class is 8 weeks long. Mm-hmm. And for me, I have to say that because I can't do both. You can throw me off with some mess. If you,
that's a mess.
You can throw me off with some mess, call me and mess me up, and I can't write a whole paper, because to me, you're selfish to call and ask something, and you know that I've told you this, So I've just learned through the years, instead of saying no, I just don't answer the phone until I can entertain it. If I can't entertain it, then I don't answer the phone. Because one little conversation will make me not complete an assignment. And then it'll be, well, why you just didn't do your work? Because you threw me off.
But the thing about that too, if you tell them that you can't, and then there's like, well, why you ain't talk to me in a while? I mean, what you mean I talk to you in a while? I'm busy.
I think that comment more than anything makes me just, crawl, because I'm a mother and a grandmother too now. So it's a little different, I think, as you meet those same milestones that your parents do, and think, I don't think I ever called the girls and said, I haven't heard from you in a while.
Heard from you in a while.
I called them if I hadn't heard from them in a while.
Exactly.
Something may have happened on their end. The youngest is in college. She could be depressed or something, and I could call, check on her, because the same things that can happen to her can happen to me. And right now, to be honest with you, I see more young people checking out than older people, because old people build stronger. They be saying a little stuff, but they don't have the anxiety, depression. They don't have all that stuff as much as younger people do. And I don't think they realize that you stress people when you say things like that.
Yeah, older people, they built like Buddy Lee. You can't bust them.
Them generation, they hard now. Because they experienced a lot. They've experienced a lot. And I'm not going to say they don't have feelings. I'm not going to say that things don't bother them. But they are able to lash out at the tongue and keep it moving. Whereas our generation might could do a little bit more lashing out the tongue. I noticed that our younger generation can't do as much. So, it's like fading off to where, you punish somebody with your words. I mean, words, you can't take those words back. I guess that's why.
That's why we try to do it a lot different.
We did. And because you can't change people. And I've learned at the end of the day that I love family. I love family. I love family. But you're not changing grown folks. No. I made our decision a long time ago. I can't change the way nobody think or feel, but I can set the example for what the humbles do, and then we took guidance for God. What does God want us to, what it look like? Have that peace of mind. There's nothing I've done, no decision I've made that I feel any regret for. Because I consulted God, not what people wanted us to do. It didn't have to make sense to them. And how I know that it was the right thing, we just kept on floating.
Kept flowing and kept getting blessings. And you can tell when you're doing the right thing. When you're doing the right thing, God going to reward you.
Oh, yeah.
He going to take care of you.
You
now,
have
if you
that
ain't
abundance.
doing the right thing, then,
abundance. And it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
Even to now, the difference now is that I will say, the level of peace that I feel when I look at what the girls are doing, what they're experiencing, they're not perfect, but I have a level of peace that I did what I was supposed to do. I don't have no regrets. Right. I'm not holding on to stuff that I feel guilty about within their childhood. When I had to come on strong, I came on strong. When I had to show them love and compassion and empathy, I did that, but I have no regrets. And I have had conversations with both where they'll come back and be like, darn, Mom, thank you. I know that sometimes you too hard on the girls, but hey.
Well, I look back, I like it because, you be a proud parent when you see them grow up. And they done came up, now they out there, now they holding their own spaces down, holding their own places down.
And dealing with some of the same things but they're dealing with some of the same things that we did as a young person. So why would I complicate that? Yeah. When I was 21, one's 21, the other one's 28. Those are some trying times. Why would I complicate that as a parent? Why would I complicate that? When I know they love me, why would I say things to stir them into thinking that I don't love them because they don't do this or they don't do that, or I just don't want to do them that way. Yeah, and I promised myself, I told you we were young, I said, if I start behaving a certain way, please wake me up. Tell me get a hobby. Tell me do something else. Because I didn't want to be that parent where I'm so focused on my kids. And it's love now. It's love. It's not like it's hated. I don't feel like neither one of us got families that hate us. That I don't
No,
think there's
no.
nothing like that. I think it's really a what do you call it? What's that? Overprotective type of love. That that love, that hard love. And I'm not going to say I don't love the girls hard. I just try to do it differently. And the peace that I have, they come over, they stop by, or they don't stop by. They call, or they don't call.
They don't call.
And I have peace. But whenever we're together, we have a very good time. And that's all you want.
That's all you want.
I feel their love, and I actually like it when we don't hear from them from a while. Because when we do hear from them, you got so much to catch up on, and they just talk.
But see, that's a good thing, because with love is an action word.
It is.
People can say it all day long, but if it don't have any feeling coming out of that word that's coming out of their mouth, it's nothing.
What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it do? And I think we've done a really good job at that. Like even tonight, our youngest child fixed us dinner. Jerk chicken, macaroni and cheese, collard greens. And you know how proud I am as a mama? Look, she had a little bit of you and me on that plate. Yeah. And I was like, look at this. Don't worry about it, mama. Or when she comes by and helps, straighten up and things, she knows that I'm in school. And she says, don't worry about dinner, mama. I got dinner. It's going to be in the oven. Yeah. And, and it's not all the time. And it's always unexpected. I like it when it's unexpected. Not a request by me. You can come over here and fix your mama some food sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's, oh my goodness, that was so nice. It feels so much better when it's just done randomly,
But that's the thing. And, once that we used to be young kids, we are now grown adults.
Yeah.
And now we got to turn around and we got to do that to our kids, but do it differently.
Just do it differently. And not necessarily better, differently,
Exactly.
and realize we're grandparents. One thing I think I realize is that, I really love our grandbaby. I love her so much.
And she
come around and it just feels so good. And I just can't imagine missing any of that.
Yeah.
Because it's something her mama don't do.
They grow up overnight.
They grow up overnight.
They'll be in high school. And you're like, whoa,
and you can't get
happened?
it back. And see, she's just turned 6. So I know, based on what our girls were growing up, that, around 7 or 8, she's going to have a little bit more experience with the world. And she may not feel like coming over to Papa's house and Grandma's house is the best thing. So I'm trying to get it in while I can. Right now, we're one of the only places Mama let her go and spend the night. So she's excited. You know what I'm saying? But, I think about just even the things that the girls have to try to go through in life. And life is a lot harder now than it was when we were coming through. And then it was a lot harder when we were coming through. A lot harder when our parents were coming through. So it's like, each generation has these things that they have to deal with. And I want you to be able to make it through those things, So.
Yeah. Tell you, life just goes by, and like they said, the blink of an eye, you're young one day, and in the blink of an eye, you're old, or you're old, or you whatever. It goes by so fast. That's why you just shouldn't waste any time, because life is short. And people like to say that and put that stank on it. Life is short, and then you're gone. Yeah, life is short,
but it's short for everyone.
It's a lot shorter if you're messing around with time.
Oh yeah, it is, and it's like. But one thing I will say, I like about
being
us,
angry and bitter and upset with
sometimes
with
people
each
be,
other.
But sometimes people be hurt too. They don't have anger. They might come off and pop off at the mouth. But I realize that a lot of times that's hurt, and it's a lack of peace. That there's conversations that need to be had that haven't been had. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into that. But again, can't change grown people. Only thing you can do is change yourself. And there's that possibility that sometimes everybody's is not in the same situation. So if you're in a situation where you are talking to a brick wall when it comes to family, all you got to do is just focus on yourself and make sure you love. And one thing about us, we make sure we love. I have no regrets. I don't have any moments of where I feel regrets for how I've treated someone, from how I've talked to someone, what I've done to someone. I don't have any. And I'll say this. If there's anything I've done, I've always been the bigger person. Yeah. To be able to apologize, be able to hear what a person's saying, because I care about how other people feel. Now, if I don't know about it, then I know that person holding it, because I'm not that type of person where you can't come talk to me. Never have been, and won't receive that. So I think as love is in a relationship, that love got us to, where we are. And I do remember times where when you dealing with love, family love is a lot different than friend love. See, friends, you get to choose who they are. Yeah. Family is family no matter what.
The family, like they say, they're your family. They gonna be there, but your friends, they come and they go.
And they come and they go. They're not guaranteed.
I will say that they will come. They're
not guaranteed. And a lot of times, friendships are a lot more comfortable than family relationships, because friends can be the closest friends to you, but not really tell you what's up. Family gonna tell you what's up. Yeah. And I get that, and we've done that in here. But I think you and I chose to have balance. If I can tell you what you is and what you ain't, then I can tell you what you are and what you can be. Have a balance. When you talk to someone, you don't always want it to be about what they're not doing for you, to you, by you. You want sometimes to just be. Sometimes you just want to hear this. Hello, how are you? Yeah.
But most time when you get those phone calls, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real with Sometimes you get a call and when the person that's on the other end of the phone calling, you know what they want something. I mean, and there's no problem with that. But can you call me in between times before you want something? Just call to say, hey, how you doing?
But you know what? That actually is a married couple type of issue. I notice that has come up a lot with married couples that I've talked to, you talk to, that, when people call, they want something. Well, because they're looking at it like this. They looking from the outside in and thinking you got two incomes, you can help, and everybody needs help sometimes. That's a favorite phrase too that people like to say. And we have too. We have needed help too. We have relied on God for that. Prayer, meditation, and things. Help came from places we wouldn't even expect for it to come. And sometimes it was like, whoa, where did that happen? And I think trusting and the more we realize that our finances belong to God, that He does not give, it's not your money. You're supposed to do what He blessed you, because He blessed you with the ways of having your money. It's making sure you do what He wants you to do with it, and then it multiplies. So I don't know. I really feel like as a couple, you have to pray together, show each other love, help and support each other first. That's why they call it a marriage. It's not a friendship. It's not a dateship. It's marriage. It's marriage. And so when you become married, then you don't behave like your boyfriend, girlfriend. Nothing's supposed to be able to come in between your marriage. And if you let it come in between, friend, family, foe, job, whatever, then you're going to have problems. Right. And despite what people think, mamas and daddies aren't supposed to come at the top of your marriage.
Yeah. That's when the father gives away his daughter at a wedding.
She get a whole new last name too.
She's giving her away. That's why they call giving it away.
Or even you have relationships.
When the moms lose their son, it's not that they're losing him.
Well, biblically, the mom doesn't lose the son; she gains a daughter. Now she will lose. She will lose her son if she doesn't gain a daughter. Hello.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But technically, that's the way it's supposed to do it. But modern 21st century, 20th century, whatever, when the woman married a man, typically the woman all of a sudden takes over and want to still deal. They're gonna do everything her mama say do. Well, if that's the case, the man should have got y'all last name if he got to do everything y'all say do. And again, that just depends on the dynamic of each person's family. Still don't have control over that. Yeah, you just have to do what's in your home. And I've learned it's just best to take care of what you got control over, because if you do too much on the outside, it come with too much. You don't know what other people's intents are. You just don't know. You only can be responsible for yours.
I remember Fred Flintstone said it best when he was coming up. And they used to have his mother-in-law on the show, and it used to be funny how they would act.
Oh yeah.
And it was just on a cartoon back then. You kids, you didn't know what that stuff meant. And when the mother-in-law would come to his house, and they would always get into it. They would be fussing over something.
Yeah.
Barney and his mother-in-law came same thing.
And they have made a mockery over the whole mother-in-law thing, and I think that's kind of wrong too, because father-in-laws they always get a pass, just like dads when they do stuff, they tend to get a pass. Like, why we always picking on the mother-in-law?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we always picking on the mother-in-law. Stop picking on the mother-in-laws. That's next. But you know what? Who the first person you call when you need something? The mamas. Dad. So hey, they ain't cut it out. You know what I'm saying?
Daddy.
No, they don't be daddy. There's mama. Then you want mama. Then whether she mom, mother-in-law, great mother-in-law, grandmother, you want mama when things go wrong. That's the truth. That's the truth.
I agree.
So.
I do agree.
But I guess this episode we won't have a wifey's corner or hubby's corner.
Man, we just were talking some serious talks today.
Like you said, no script or anything, just chilling
out.
Yeah. So I guess as always, till next time, what? Show love.
You've been listening to Show Love with Alvin and Andrea, a couple that met at church at 10 years old and have been married for 20 plus years. If you need inspiration, education, or motivation, this is not only your show, these are your coaches. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had fun doing it, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, reach out on social media at Alvin and Ann or Couple for Couples, and find our website at www.coupleforcouples.com. Find us on most podcast platforms at iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast, and now on Amazon Music. Till next time, dream without fear, love without limits.